Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this December the 28th, 2024. I'm hoping everybody had a great Saturday out there. So far, everybody has a great Saturday evening. Hope everybody can stay safe and well, and also enjoy the weather, because no weather you got. Okay, in tonight's video, we're going to be taking a look at all these storm systems moving across the country. We got a little swirly system out here in the tropical Atlantic. Ain't nothing to get or nothing to be organized at this time, but it's pretty neat to see a little swirly system out here in the central tropical Atlantic. Also got a little system down in the MDR region, kind of got a lot of flare-ups of showers and storms. Also got some activity across South America, Central America, a little bit in the Caribbean Sea, also down in the Gulf of Mexico. And then here is the big weather maker across the lower 48. We got a lot of system here moving into Mississippi, bringing a lot of tornado warnings to this region. Tomorrow will be a severe weather outbreak for the Carolinas and Georgia, all the way up into Virginia. So get ready for that, folks. Right now, worst of the weather right now is in Louisiana, Mississippi, and we'll be moving into Alabama and continue to push through Georgia later on tonight and early tomorrow morning. And it should be coming into the western Carolinas. Should be around lunchtime tomorrow. So we'll be tracking that system tomorrow afternoon as it continues to move into that direction. Alright, also we got another system moving out west, moving into the Washington, Oregon State, also over toward Montana, also over toward Idaho, and also in the portion of Wyoming, Colorado, and also Utah and Nevada region. Kind of like the northern jet is about right in this area here. The southern jet kind of just slowly moving across Mexico and then across Florida and then out into the tropical Atlantic. Alright, if you have not subscribed, also like these videos, share these videos, and let's continue to get the show on the road here, folks. Alright, you can see we got some mixed precipitation, freezing rain up here in portion of Maine, southeast Canada, and also in the portion of New Brunswick. Got some shower activity there, stretching down to Rhode Island to New Jersey, Maryland. Also over toward a portion of southeast Canada, New York State, the portion of Wisconsin, Michigan, down to Alabama. Then we got thunderstorms and showers from Ohio to Pennsylvania to the Carolinas, all the way down to the Florida region and the Florida Keys, also the Atlantic coastal waters, Gulf of Mexico. Yellow slashed area from portion of eastern Alabama through Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, portion of Virginia. This is where severe weather looks to occur, and we'll be talking about that in tonight's video just a little bit later. Alright. We got mixed precipitation up here around Michigan, northern Michigan, also up here around Lake Huron. Then we got more mixed precipitation also over here through the Dakota, through portion of Nebraska, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Washington, Oregon State, California, Nevada. Even got some pockets of heavy snow across Washington, Oregon State, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, a little bit in Colorado. And then we got thunderstorms and showers right along coastal areas of Washington, Oregon State. A little bit of heavy rain and flash flooding over southwestern Oregon and also northwestern California. Otherwise, expect dry high pressure to remain in charge of the local forecast area for your Sunday. Alright, here is your Monday forecast. You can see we got showers up here from Maine, New Brunswick, all the way down to Rhode Island, down to Delaware, over toward West Virginia, northern Georgia, back to Kansas, up to Michigan, also around Lake Huron, and also over here around Toronto, Canada region as well. Thunderstorms and showers over here from Illinois to Indiana to Ohio, portion of Kentucky. Mixed precipitation from portion of Pennsylvania, New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, southeastern Canada. And then again from portion of Illinois, Iowa, back into South Dakota to Nebraska, and portion of Colorado, northern Kansas, northern Missouri. Then we got a pocket of freezing rain over South Dakota. Then we got snow from portion of Minnesota through north to South Dakota, Montana, Idaho, back to portion of Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, and Nevada. And then we got mixed precipitation over here in portion of Idaho, Washington, Oregon State, Northern California, rain shower along coastal areas there as well. And then we have pockets of heavy snow over portion of Washington State, Idaho, and portion of Montana. Otherwise, expect dry high pressure to remain in charge of the remainder of the local forecast area. And we forgot about the Florida, South Florida to the Florida Keys. Got a few showers in your vicinity. All of this activity is for your Monday, December 30th. Alright. Let's move on to the current watch and warning advisory map for your location across the nation. Alrighty, you can see we got some winter weather advisories up here in northern Maine, also northern New York State. High wind watches right along portion of New York State as well. Special weather statements there are also stretching over to Vermont and also portion of Connecticut, Rhode Island area. I mean the Connecticut region and western Massachusetts. Then we got dense fog advisory over portion of Pennsylvania, lake wind advisories over Georgia and South Carolina. Then we got special weather statements up here in portion of Ohio, back to Indiana, Kentucky, also in the portions of Wisconsin. Then we got flood watches for portion of Illinois, also southwestern Indiana, western Kentucky, southeastern Missouri. Flash flood warning for portion of Kentucky, northern Mississippi, also down in Louisiana and Texas. Then here in the yellow, so we have tornado watch boxes here. We have we got a lot of ongoing tornado warnings from through Mississippi, maybe southern Louisiana, and also ongoing severe thunderstorm warnings there as well. Also, we have some flood advisories for portion of Arkansas and also eastern Texas. More special weather statements for Texas, New Mexico, western Oklahoma, and also Colorado. Dense fog advisory from up here near Minnesota, Iowa, down in the portion of Missouri, and also southeastern Nebraska and eastern Kansas. High wind watches over here in portion of Colorado. Avalanche warnings there as well. The winter storm warnings, high wind watches also for Wyoming. Avalanche warnings also in effect for Idaho and also portion of Montana and also Utah region. And then we got winter storm watches, winter weather advisory for Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, and also Utah. Wind advisory for portions of Idaho, also Nevada, and also portions of Oregon State. We got winter storm warning, winter weather advisories also in effect for Washington, Oregon State. High wind watches, wind advisories also in effect for California, Oregon, also in the Nevada region as well. Then we got small craft advisory, gale warning from up here in Maine all the way to the Florida Keys. A little bit around the Big Bend area of Florida. Got some fog, dense fog advisory around the coastal areas of the Big Bend over toward the Florida Panhandle, and then again from south areas of California up to Washington State. Air quality alerts over southwestern areas of California. Alright, we've got high surf warnings around the Hawaiian Chain Islands, small craft advisories there as well, and also flood watches also around the Alaska area, region 2, storm warning in purple with freezing spray warnings in the blue, and northern areas of Alaska special weather statements. Alright, Storm Prediction Center outlook. Okay, this is for your Sunday. Okay, we got general thunderstorms from up here in Detroit, Pittsburgh, Washington D.C. towards Cincinnati, and then we got marginal risk from down here from the Panhandle, Florida, northwest, just northwest of Atlanta, up toward Charleston, West Virginia, Roanoke, Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, Virginia Beach, Wilmington, North Carolina. Then we have a slight risk from Raleigh to Charlotte, to Charleston, to Columbia, to Atlanta, to Columbus, Dalton, also Tallahassee, and also over toward Jacksonville. Slight risk for severe weather. Still would not be surprised to see maybe an enhanced risk still could be added later on. General thunderstorm proportion Washington, Oregon State, Northwest California. Alright, the tornado probability, we have a 2% from Raleigh to Wilmington to Charleston, Savannah, to Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Dalton, Alabama, Columbus, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, you included. Around the Augusta area to Columbia to Charlotte, you're in a 5% risk for a tornado or two. This is the greatest risk area right here for central South Carolina, maybe a little bit upstate South Carolina. This is a little more higher chance. Even Charlotte, you're in the 5% risk for maybe a tornado or two. Alright, let's take a look at the damaging winds. We have 5% here from Columbus to Wilmington, and then a slight risk from Tallahassee all the way up to Raleigh for damaging winds. And then let's take a look at the large hail from Columbia all the way to Tallahassee, Dalton, Alabama, east of Columbus, Georgia, east of Atlanta. You're in a 5% risk for large hail. Alrighty, now let's move on to the current radar across the nation. We're going to show you that line of storms across Alabama and also Mississippi, and scattered activity elsewhere. Alright, you can see here is that line stretching from just around Baton Rouge, Louisiana, west of Jackson, Mississippi, all the way up to the southeast of Memphis. Got some heavy pockets of rain up there in portions of Tennessee. Also western Alabama got a few pockets of thunderstorms in that region. Got a cluster of thunderstorms and showers moving into southwestern Alabama, maybe even western Florida, Panhandle region. This here could produce some severe weather that moves on shore. Scattered activity over southwestern Georgia, more activity just east of Knoxville, Tennessee, to Greenville, Spartanburg, North Georgia, got some shower activity there. North of Columbia, to east of Charlotte, to Greensboro, got some shower activity there. And then more up here around Richmond, Virginia, also back toward just west of Greensboro. Alright, so that's pretty much the line of severe storm moving out to the east. So, and then we got more activity. Let's take a look down here toward Florida, just south of Orlando, west of Miami. Got a cluster of showers and storms there as well. And then see if we can get to the northeast. If this thing will let me navigate to the northeast. And also we got some activity from around New York City, also east of Philadelphia, and also just east of Washington D.C. as well. Alright, let's see if we can move over to the west coast. This thing will let me go over that far. As you can see, we got a little bit of activity over portions of South Dakota, Nebraska, just north of Denver. Also we're here toward Wyoming as well, Salt Lake City. Got some activity going on there as well. But like I said, the main action right now is this line here from just southeast Texas all the way into portion of Tennessee. That little skinny line there is producing a lot of wind damage and also tornadoes. I looked at the latest storm report. We had about 15 tornado reports so far. We had like I think 9 or 11, something like that, for damaging winds. And I can't remember what the large hail was, but that was pretty much right along that line there. Alright, let's see if we can get on over here a little bit. Like I said, we got a little bit of activity around Salt Lake City, also over toward Montana, also over toward Oregon State, Northwest California, southern Idaho, also a portion of Montana, northern Idaho, also toward Washington State, the Seattle and Portland region, and a little bit across southwestern Canada. Alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already. Like the video, share the video. We'll catch you back in the next video. So have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday evening, folks. And also enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Take care, and we'll catch you back in the next one.